Hey everyone, it's Gede Parma here, and Theo, as I often go known these days as. I'm just here to let you know that I am currently touring the States again for the fifth time, and I've started off here in Maryland and Virginia. I just did a class today, a 4-hour class on speaking with the spirits, and basically what some people will call shamanic and sorcerous ways of communing with the other world. Um, and yeah, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the rest of the tour, where I'll be, what I'll be doing. So tomorrow I'm flying to Ohio, and I'm the keynote speaker at, I think it's the 13th anniversary of Between the Worlds, which is a 5-night gathering for queer, pagan, men, and male-bodied people in Ohio. So I've never been to Ohio before, so I can add that to the list of the states that I'm accruing in my journeying on this fair continent of Turtle Island. So I'll be doing a few workshops there and doing a talk there on kind of, the way forward for for witches and shapeshifters and seers and sorcerers and people who are into place-based spirituality at this time, at this crossroads, at this juncture of human existence and interaction with the rest of the world. So I'm super excited about that. And then I will be doing one of my favorite workshops at the moment in Chicago on Saturday, the 27th of September, which is The Fallen Angels, Luciferian Gnosis, and Angels and Witchcraft, which is a full-day workshop. And oh, by the way, you can find all the details of this on my website, which is actually going to be renewed soon, so it'll have a completely different look from the way it has looked for years, which is exciting. Shout out to Krista, you're an amazing web designer. Um, so, so yeah, that's happening on the 27th, and then on Sunday the 28th of September, I'm doing um, a 3-hour talk called The Hedge and the Twisted Tree, Crossing into the Other World, for a really cool group called the Owen Society, which is a steampunk society that is very occultist. So um, that's that's a little it's not something that I have ever really done, actually, steampunk. So that's really exciting. I have my own steampunk name. Um, I can't remember what it is, but I'm excited about it. So that's organized by the same crew of people, Brotherhood of the Phoenix, another queer pagan male men, which includes trans um, organization, which I've done a few things now over the years with them, and that's always hilarious and fun and good and solid and beautiful. And then I go to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul, and I'm teaching on the weekend of the 4th and the 5th of October at Eye of Horus, which actually just moved to a new location. So I'm doing a free event on Saturday, the 4th of October, on patron deities meeting your soul deity from 1 to 2:30 p.m. And then I'm doing a book signing from 2:30 to 3, and then I'm doing a workshop called Psychic Sensing and Self-Defense from 3:30 to 6. And then the next day, the 5th of October, the Sunday, I'm doing an all-day workshop called Seership, Possession, and Magic in the Craft, which I've done many, many times in the past 5 years, and it's also called The Veil, the Vessel, and the Web, for those in Australia who've taken this particular workshop. So that covers different techniques arising from Wildwood tradition and other traditions that I've studied with, um, reclaiming Anderson Fairy, and a lot of it also comes from my own interaction and direct intimacy with the other world and my particular spirits and familiars, and also inspired by Balinese mysticism and Hinduism, and just the general training of over 13 years of involvement, active involvement, constant involvement with working witchcraft as a community and in my day-to-day life. Um, and I'm really excited also about uh, on Thursday, the 16th of October, I will be doing a 3-hour workshop called Who is Eradia? Invoking the Warrior of Witches. Um, and I'm super juiced about that, actually. I think I'll develop that ongoingly into a full day workshop. I have a very personal, private relationship with Eradia, and I can touch on her through the Wildwood's principle of the first witch, Ara. But Ara is not so much a person in that teaching and in that law. She is an entire kind of soulscape lineage legacy of all witches that have, will, and do exist. So Eradia can also is often called the first witch in Eradia, or the Gospel of the Witches, where she kind of has been made famous from Leland's book, published at the end of the 19th century. But she's also considered to be, by many traditions of the craft, a goddess, and sometimes a mytho-historical figure who lived in the 14th century and championed the old religion and the old ways, and was very, fought against oppression bravely with sorcery, with magic, with integrity, with connection to land and people. So I'm super excited about that. And then on Sunday, the 19th of October, I'm running a full-day workshop called Soul Story, Story Spell, Spell Song, Magic from the Deep Well of the Soul. And that's going to be in Berkeley. And then on Sunday, the 9th of November, I will be in Portland, Oregon, and I am teaching kind of a longer day version of what I taught today, so speaking with the spirits, shamanic and sorcerous ways of communing with the other world. So that's in Portland, Oregon, and I love Portland, and I'm excited. Actually, I've never taught in Portland, I've realized. I've been there several times now, but because I have good friends there, but I've never taught there, so this is going to be my first workshop in Portland. And then I will be going to New York City. The final details of those two workshops, which is actually a shorter version of the full day Fallen Angels and a shorter version of the full day Soul Story workshop, will be in probably Manhattan, but also in Brooklyn, I think, yeah, in mid-November. And then on Sunday, the 22nd of November, in New Hampshire at the Temple of Witchcraft, I will be teaching the long day version again of the Soul Story, Story Spell, and Spell Song, which is a mythic exploration of sovereignty itself, of the story that is unique to me, to you, to any particular divine expression of the limitless infinite mystery that will never be again, in this way, in this form, in this expression, but the soul story that arises from the kind of immortal depths of the deep well from which we come, and then that becomes the story spell, which is like a way of understanding the power of story and myth in who we are as adventurers and wanderers and seekers and questers, and that spell becomes a spell song which we can conjure ourselves into fullness of being and ignite our will, come into integrity with who we are, with our weird, with our purpose, and realize that we are crystallized essence of cosmic consciousness and revolution, of the star goddess beholding herself in the dark mirror of space, of grandmother weaver being able to hold herself in the heart of her daughter by virtue of the guardian of the door, grandfather Green Man, all these many mythic narratives of the craft that I'm involved in, being able to hold that journey. So that's super exciting to me. And then I'm going to be teaching a possessory all-day class in LA. In the last weekend I'll be here, which is the weekend of the 29th and the 30th of November. I believe that's correct. Yeah, so I'm super juiced about this journey. I feel Hermes very strongly with me. So I'm going to go with that. And I hope to see many of you who I know, who are my friends, who are my beloveds, and people who I haven't met before at these workshops and events and just around the place. So many, many, many blessings to you all, and catch you on the flip side.